My belief is that we should be centering the voices and experiences of the most marginalized people and communities at all times. So when I think about what fat liberation looks like to me, it looks like centering the voices and the experiences of those who live in and who maneuver through spaces and institutions in a fat body. It looks like making accessible spaces and having conversations that are aware of the fact that people have different bodies and that they are interacting with space and people and institutions and communities in a different way. Fat liberation looks like fully embracing those differences and having those conversations instead of shying away from them. To learn more about fat liberation and the campaign for size freedom that Dove is supporting, visit dove.com/size freedom. Tap in, join the campaign, support the campaign. This is important and we should all be talking about it.
My mind's telling me no, but my body's telling me no.
My, what a time we live in when I have to sit here and make a reaction video to shit like this. I was born in 1969, and I don't know what to make of 2024. The everyday schmoey is trapped between two extremes of far-right conservatism or liberal identity politics that hide behind the three terms diversity, equity, and inclusion. Any common sense has gone right out of the window, and it doesn't seem like it's coming back unless you want to move to an undisclosed location and start all over again. Everyone talks like a new age guru with piles of word salad and red tape like spaghetti. This is a fat black woman with horribly Botoxed lips. She is not plus-sized, she is not big-boned, and she is most definitely not a big, beautiful woman. She is fat and entitled to the point of delusion. And I don't feel that I'm doing anything wrong by simply stating what I can see with my own two eyes. She is a member of the modern society, particularly, I assume, the ethnic black community of these here United States of America's 3Ks inset. I repeat for those who are hard of hearing, cannot see, that this is a fat black woman with medical malpractice collagen injected lips. She is supposedly a partner with Dove Soap Company and some sort of activist on which they tack the infamous initials BLM, otherwise known as Black Lives Matter. This fact tells me, as a common sense individual with rational cognitive skills, this fat woman is an operative and an agent of disinformation. If she believes what she is saying, I think that in the interest of fat activists everywhere, she should make her medical records public. I would like this woman to take a lie detector test as to whether or not she believes what she is saying and posting on social media. If she fails that lie detector test, then I think I should get a bonus question about whether or not she is an operative, and if she is, who does she draw a paycheck from? I'm making this video for all of the plus-sized and literally fat, no obese women I've met in my life who didn't espouse these cardboard issues of social justice based on a physical trait that some say is a genetic predisposition. Honestly, I know about 10 gigantic fat women personally that would take this activist to Pound Town with their fists, cankles, and hooves. Half of these women that I know who would pummel the snot out of this fake activist are married with children. 1/3 of one half have active gym memberships that they are not using other than to swim on odd days in the pool. I know for a fact these women would be offended at the talking points of this woman with the horribly collagen-injected lips. I'm going to be an outcast in this society and call a spade a spade. I'm going to look at this woman and say that she is a fat black woman with self-worth issues that are almost crippling. I'm going to look at this fat black woman and say that she has been criminally abused and exploited by parties unknown at this time. I am also going to say that I care about this fat black woman enough to give her a reality check. I'm going to tell this fat black woman that I don't want to see her in a wheelchair with the missing limb because of diabetes, and I don't want her to have hypertension because of her weight. I want her to live long enough to see any potential grandchildren she might have with her less discerning male who would debase himself enough to lie down with her and reward her with a child that she really doesn't need, medically speaking. I'm not being mean or a bully by speaking my truth. I'm being unapologetically masculine. I am speaking exclusively to the black women in our community who hold these views and who recklessly use terms such as fatphobic. That term is bullshit in our ethnic community and is offensive to my sensibilities personally as a black classified member of the population, that 13% of America, 3Ks inset. In the black community, An inordinate number of large and obese fat black women get married all the time and have children and live however long they can live in that condition. This is well known, and that is why you see a lot of other ethnic communities who have women with similar body types paired up with black men who accept them as they are. Black men are trained from the time they are boys to accept that because a lot of the women raising them look like this fat black woman and have a stringent campaign of narcissistic browbeating and inappropriate adult-child relationships, i.e. making their male children's son husbands desperate for attention and validation from these same women. A lot of black men have their first sexual experience with women that look like this due to this kind of upbringing or a virulent and pervasive partialism that dominates our communities. Sometimes black men can compartmentalize a woman's appearance in portions. Growing up, I sometimes heard other brothers explaining their dating of a large woman by saying that she had a beautiful face or she had a huge ass made for doggy style. Partialism is an extreme form of sexual attraction to an aesthetic, or for those of us who are phonetically challenged, a preference for a body part or attribute. In this case, it would be the buttocks of anyone they would be interested in based on those learned gender sexual proclivities or outright imprinting through an inappropriate relationship or exposure to adult materials. So that being said, black men are taught to bob for apples in a porta potty with a Tupperware lid on it. A good many of us, too many, have learned to take a paper plate with a turd on it and tell ourselves that turd is a gigantic Hershey kiss. It's not. It's a big piece of shit. A big piece of shit that came out of a fat black woman's ass. Basic female narcissistic entitlement is bolstered by the fact that black men have been raised in this manner. I won't argue with anyone who has a dissenting point of view regarding this line of dialogue. I will just retort with, who is the first teacher of the child? The first teacher of the child is the mother. And if the first teacher of the child is a gigantic fat black woman with horribly collagen-injected lips, then black men are inherently and biologically predisposed against being quote-unquote fat-phobic. And since I am a straight black man who was raised in a matriarchal, partially nuclear family, I can honestly say that this fat black woman with horribly collagen-injected lips was an operative and fake activist looking to stir the pot during an election year that is being hotly contested with the threat or promise of Donald Trump returning to the presidency. There's no way I can be fat-phobic, so I'm not bullying any fat black women in varying degrees of health. You know that I'm telling the truth and my word is bond. So when I say that I care about this gigantic fat black woman with horribly collagen-injected lips, you know I'm telling the truth. Sista, I would like you to immediately check yourself into a mental facility to seek a comprehensive therapeutic program to help you deal with your body issues, ma'am. I'd like you to try smaller portions or change your regular everyday diet, and I'd like you to up your water intake considerably. It's a no-brainer that you should do a bit of walking as much as possible on a regular basis. And last but not least, I think that you should limit your presence on social media for their foreseeable future until you can get yourself down to a manageable weight and look at yourself in the mirror without hating what you see, ma'am. I want you to enjoy your life and be true to yourself. Yeah, if anyone is actually fat-phobic, it's you, ma'am. Ma'am, you are fat-phobic towards yourself. If you truly loved yourself and your condition, you wouldn't be online trying to find others who have your mindset and indoctrinate the rest. If I'm wrong, then you are an unapologetic, opportunistic piece of shit. All you care about is the bag, and you don't have any moral responsibility to the rest of your ethnic community to do such a thing. You might as well be a drug dealer. I don't know you. I have no idea of your life outside of what you posted in your TikTok video, ma'am. I guess you could say your first impression was a big one, pun intended. I made this commentary for all of the fat women that don't feel the way that you do about themselves and manage to live productive lives, have children if they want. All of the plus-sized and larger women that honestly pursue their dreams, whatever they may be. Kings, you have to be unapologetically masculine and unwilling to accept anything that you are not comfortable with on any level. In 2024, compromise can lead to what we have today, an upside-down Orwellian society with contrarians talking out both sides of their necks while the country burns. Keep your head on a swivel, protect your bag, and do not make fallen women the stewards of your family. Protect your seed because that is your future, your legacy. SYSBM means save yourself black men. All praise to the Most High, Assalamu Alaikum.